Currently, there are 19 Disney Resort hotels at Walt Disney World, but that was not always the case. Several different hotels have been planned to various stages since Walt Disney World's opening in 1971, all the way up to the present day. So let's explore the cancelled hotels of Walt Disney World. In the 1960s, 5 resorts were planned for Walt Disney World, with the Polynesian and the Contemporary opening in 1971, and the other 3 being planned to open based on guest demand. However, due to the 1973 oil crisis, tourism was down and Walt Disney World didn't need the extra 3 hotels. One of these hotels was to be the Asian Resort, a 600-room hotel located on the west side of the Seven Seas Lagoon. The Asian Resort would have been inspired by Thailand, featuring a cocktail bar at the top of a 160-foot tower and 2/3 of its rooms to be located on the water. The location for the Asian Resort was left vacant until the Grand Floridian Resort was built in its place and opened in 1988. The second cancelled hotel would have been the Persian Resort, a 500-room hotel located north of the Contemporary on the shores of Bay Lake. The Persian Resort would have a large dome over the lobby and balconies leading to the rooms. The third cancelled hotel was the Venetian Resort, located on the east of Seven Seas Lagoon, between the Contemporary and the Ticket and Transportation Centre. The 500-room hotel would resemble St Mark's Square, with interlocking waterways and bridges, a glass-topped lobby, and a small boat harbour. The location of the Venetian was reconsidered in the 1990s for a 1,000-room Mediterranean hotel, featuring white architecture, courtyards, and rooms on the shore. However, the land plan for this resort was swampy and had poor ground samples, meaning the land would not have been able to support the large hotel. In December 1999, Disney announced a 5,760-room resort themed to the 20th century, containing 20 buildings that represented the 10 decades between 1900 and 1990. Disney's Pop Century Resort was supposed to open in 2 phases, the classic years opening in 2002 and the legendary years shortly after. However, after the devastating events of September 11, 2001, Florida tourism plummeted and the opening date of Pop Century was pushed back. It would eventually open on December 14, 2003, featuring the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s. Meanwhile, construction on the legendary years had come to a halt in 2001, so the abandoned buildings constructed for this section of the resort sat dormant. The legendary years would have been themed to the 1900s, 1910s, 1920s, 1930s and 1940s, but as time moved on, less people were feeling nostalgic for this time period. Yet the legendary years buildings could be seen from the open half of Pop Century. Between the 2 halves of the resort was Generation Gap Bridge and Hourglass Lake, themed to the century theme of Pop Century, although that link is hard to distinguish as the legendary years was never built. Eventually, in 2010, Disney announced a replacement for the legendary years, the Art of Animation Resort. The one set of rooms that had already been constructed were themed to the Little Mermaid. Meanwhile, blocks of family suites were built in the empty sections of the resort, themed to the Lion King, Finding Nemo, and Cars. Finally, a resort had been built in the former planned location of Pop Century's legendary years. In 2018, Disney announced a 1,700-room nature-themed DVC resort called Reflections, a Disney lakeside lodge, to be built in the former location of River Country. At the 2019 D23 Expo, more details for the resort were announced, including A-frame accommodations and treehouse suites, which would have been available, as well as a restaurant inspired by The Princess and the Frog, located on the riverfront. Whilst the site for the hotel had been cleared, construction halted due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and the hotel was cancelled once the parks reopened. There have recently been permits filed for the area where Reflections was supposed to be built, so there is a chance that Disney may be planning a new hotel to to replace Reflections, a Disney lakeside lodge. Walt Disney World has a lot of hotels, but also a lot of cancelled hotels. From the original worldwide theme of resorts planned in the 1960s to the abandoned legendary years and the cancelled Reflections Resort. Which would you have liked to see built? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below on what you want to see next on the Distory channel.